There's a bizarre story in the Daily Telegraph this morning about a shop that's been accused of a hate crime incident of a non-crime hate incident. That's it. What does it mean to be investigated by the police for committing no crime? That's the question raised by this non-crime hate incident thing. There's an ironmonger's shop window in Cleobury Mortimer, Shropshire, where a display of portraits, Churchill, Jesus, St Francis, Donald Trump, and most controversially Enoch Power, has prompted a police investigation and a record. Not a criminal investigation. No one's been arrested, no laws have been broken, and yet West Mercia police have formally recorded the matter as a non-crime hate incident, or an NCHI. And what is that? What's a non-crime? I don't really understand this idea. A non-crime incident that's still treated as a police matter, Orwell might raise an eyebrow. A non-crime hate incident is a curious invention. The term was coined in guidance from the College of Policing in 2014, allowing police forces to record incidents where no law has been broken, but where anyone perceives that something has been motivated by hostility to race, religion, gender, identity, sexual orientation, or disability. And it's enough to feel offended, threatened, or victimized to spark one of these NCHIs, even if the incident is trivial, symbolic, or absurd. But such incidents, though legally innocuous, may be stored on police databases and may, in theory, appear in enhanced DBS checks for jobs. In 2021, the Court of Appeal ruled that Miller versus the College of Policing, that the recording of such incidents can have a chilling effect on free expression and must be proportionate and necessary. And in the Cleobury Mortimer case, we must ask, was it either? Was it proportionate or necessary? And the image in question was not of Powell alone. According to Elizabeth Griffiths, the shopkeeper and Reform UK activist, the display featured a variety of powerful leaders: Jesus Christ, Francis of Assisi, Winston Churchill, Donald Trump, and Powell, along with an excerpt from his infamous 1968 Rivers of Blood speech. Now, Enoch Powell is a deeply divisive figure in British political history, but a phenomenal speaker. His warnings about mass migration and social unrest were controversial then, they remain so today, but to display his image is not in and of itself an act of incitement. It's not glorification of violence, nor a hate crime under any legal definition. It may be provocative, it may be distasteful, but it's also, and crucially, lawful. The display was reported, investigated, and categorised, and Mrs. Griffiths, interestingly, has not been contacted directly by the police. She says this was part of a political vendetta owing to her campaigning for Reform UK. That may be speculation, but it highlights the very real danger of using police powers to settle scores or suppress unpopular opinion. Indeed, the deeper issue here is not whether Mrs. Griffiths, who owns the shop, is right or wrong in her taste for political memorabilia. It is that police resources are being used not to prevent crime, but to police thought. And more dangerously still, to record moral judgment of wrongthink in public databases. The risks of turning police forces into enforcers of ideological conformity are significant. That's hardly their role in a liberal democracy. In Britain, unlike some continental jurisdictions, doesn't have a coded right to free speech, but we do have, and we do recognise the primacy of Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, the right to freedom of expression, even when that expression is offensive, shocking, or disturbing. Indeed, that's the point of freedom. There's no need to protect bland opinions. What needs protecting is that which others find objectionable. This is an example, is it not? And so the question remains, does displaying a picture of Enoch Powell with a politically incendiary quote amount to hate or simply to history? And one wonders how many portraits of Karl Marx, Che Guevara, or Mao Zedong, responsible for far bloodier legacies than Enoch Powell's rhetoric, have been displayed in student windows without complaint. The inconsistency betrays a deeper bias. We're not dealing with universal standards of hate, but with a cultural battleground in which particular expressions are policed more eagerly than others. And this isn't about defending Powell, it's about defending the space for disagreement and for even uncomfortable disagreement, without inviting the heavy hand of the state. Clearbury Mortimer, this incident, is not just about one picture in one window. It's about the drift towards criminalising mere perception, the quiet erosion of liberty in the name of safety, and the empowerment of the offended to trigger legal consequences for being merely controversial. Mrs. Griffiths may have odd tastes in window dressing. I don't dispute that. But the greater eccentricity lies with the state, which now records non-crimes and treats them as if they are real. Non-crimes have consequence. A democracy that fears offence more than it fears censorship has already lost its nerve.